we are going to be honoring two individuals for their service on behalf of our schools, for the things that they have done, for the educational achievements that they have attained, for their accomplishments personally. The first of these will go to someone who is unfortunately not able to be with us this evening, Christian Zolio. In spite of seemingly insurmountable drawbacks and challenges, this graduate, Christian Zolio, persevered to fulfill his dreams of working in a hospital as his career. An average student with the best attitude and outlook in life that was seen in more than 10 years of teaching. Smart, focused, with a high emotional IQ. He has his shares of financial struggles. He started a new family. But in addition, he had another dilemma. He had a debilitating chronic gastrointestinal problem that required full medical attention. One even wonders if the individual was capable of completing the rigor of the program. In the past, he came into the program director's office, teary-eyed, contemplating withdrawing from the program because of a variety of medical, financial issues, but with constant counseling, they were able to convince him to complete the program, his family and friends supporting him throughout the completion of the program. The instructor who submitted this, and the school that submitted this, believed that he had all the great skills to become a really good sonographer, and while on externship, he was offered a job and was currently employed in one of the finest hospitals in the city and in the country as a sonographer. They're very truly proud of him. He works for the University Hospital of Columbia and Cornell. A little additional background in the words of the student himself. He said, "My lifelong dream was to work in the medical field and to assist patients. In 2006, I was fortunate enough to be accepted in the Sanford Brown Diagnostic Medical Sonography program. Received an excellent education and learned real-world skills and training needed to become a great technician. Professors like Dr. Milana, Dr. Pastor, Dr. Brahmi motivated me and really helped me stay focused on attaining my goal. I was doing very well until my Crohn's disease stepped in and I was forced to have yet another surgery. What was supposed to be a simple procedure became a 2-week stay in the hospital and a near-death experience. Surgery resulted in very bad E. coli infection. I wasn't sure I was going to make it. Luckily, I bounced back. I had to miss a module in the process. The school was very understanding. We worked, and they accommodated me during the difficult time. The school registrar made sure I was able to make up the modules. I advanced through the program and went on to do my internship at New York Presbyterian and loved the hands-on experience. One of my proudest days was when I walked down the aisle during the graduation ceremony. I was proud of what I accomplished, but didn't realize that more challenges would lie ahead. Soon after the graduation, he was thrilled to receive the ultrasound technologist position at New York Presbyterian. He loved working there and with the staff. His next challenge was to become an ARDMS registered technician, which is the next level up, which is even harder to achieve. He had no idea what obstacles would be in the way. He studied and studied to no avail, failed various tests on different times. Timing couldn't have been worse because he had just become a new father of a beautiful baby girl. After studying and failing some more, he was further tested. It was determined that he had various learning disabilities, continued with his studies, received treatment, finally passed all those exams. He cried when he passed those exams. He wanted to make his wife and daughter proud, knew that he had succeeded, and had much support and encouragement along the way. In June 2012, he was reinstated at a higher position at New York Presbyterian and couldn't be happier. His family and friends nicknamed him the modern-day Rocky because I kept getting knocked down, but I never gave up. And he's honored that Sanford Brown considered him for this nomination. He hopes that he can serve as a role model for other people, that he can inspire them to work through their obstacles, to achieve their goals, and reach their dreams. And that's why Christian Zolio was selected as one of the 2 recipients this year. The reason he could not be here, you should know, is that he is working 12-hour shifts at the hospital in conjunction also with further work that he's been doing down in Staten Island as well, dealing with victims and folks in the aftermath of all the calamity. And he also lives on Staten Island. And we are just going to be very pleased to be able to make a subsequent presentation of this actually at his school. And I'm not sure, is Michelle Lambert here by any chance yet? I know Michelle was here earlier today. She's still with us. Michelle, why don't you come forward, please? I know you're not Sanford Brown Manhattan, but you are Sanford Brown White Plains, so you can come up at least and take a bow on behalf of the institution. We're actually going to present this to the institution down in the city, but for now, we're going to present it there because, it's a big network of Sanford Browns. So, on behalf of all of us, Muriel?
Yes, on behalf of the coalition, I'm delighted to present this to you, and eventually it will go to the student, but thank you to Sanford Brown for producing that wonderful student.
Now, you gotta give it back to me. We're gonna bring it down to New York City, to Manhattan, where it belongs. They submitted good candidates too, I want you to know. There's some good students coming through that school. Okay, and now we're going to have a second presentation and a very special presentation that our president, Muriel Andrew, is going to read.
This one is very important to me because it's a student from my school. I was not present when these two students were selected. I was home actually with 102 fever, otherwise I would have been there pushing. But it is the first time that we have entered a student, and I am so pleased because I remember Greg when he was a student, and so this is very special to me. Greg Jansen is a 2003 graduate of Haddonfield Memorial High School in New Jersey, and a 2007 graduate of Columbia University, where he earned a BA degree with a major in music. While attending Columbia University, he was exposed to a survey course on audio recording technology and decided that following graduation, he would pursue more advanced study in the area. After spending a year teaching English in Japan, he returned to the United States and enrolled in the audio recording and production program at the Institute of Audio Research. Greg quickly distinguished himself as an outstanding student for his work ethic and his perseverance as he pursued his studies. For Greg, studying audio and the intricacies of technical gear and cabling were more difficult than for other students since he was visually impaired. And yet, despite his disability, Greg maintained outstanding attendance and earned high grades and earned the respect of the Institute's faculty along the way. Following graduation, the road into the audio industry was difficult for Greg, more so than for other students. The traditional path for graduation is through internship, yet interns generally are responsible for assisting engineers by setting up studios for recording sessions, wiring patch bays, and providing technical support. These are complex and difficult chores for any IAR graduate, but particularly challenging for someone with visual impairment. Greg never let that get in his way. Greg persevered. He applied for a position with Skyline Studios and followed up until he was granted an interview. During his interview, he impressed the studio owner with his background and qualifications, but he was informed that if he was hired, he would be expected to perform the same responsibilities of any other intern, without regard to his disability. Greg was thrilled to have the opportunity and quickly agreed. Overcoming the challenges of his new position were difficult. Greg spent many hours on his own studying the physical layout of the studio and patch bays at Skyline, committing them to memory so that he could work with them as easily as any other intern. He understood that under the time pressure of a real recording session, he would have to move quickly and would not be able to use visual aids. In time, he demonstrated that his visual impairment did not detract from his abilities to function as an audio assistant, and again, he earned the respect of his colleagues as he advanced at Skyline. A breakthrough opportunity occurred when international recording artist Placido Domingo arrived at Skyline. Needing a replacement studio for a project he was involved with, Skyline turned to Greg and gave him his first opportunity to serve as an audio engineer. The opportunity led to many others in his young career. Greg has worked with many acclaimed musicians, including drummer Roy Haynes, pianist Chick Corea, and jazz fusion guitarist Mike Stern. It was at Skyline that Greg met Doug Maxwell of Meteorite Production. Doug was also visually impaired, and the two recording engineers immediately hit it off, intuitively understanding the challenges they faced in the audio industry. It was at Skyline that Greg met audio engineer Nick Miller, who introduced him to Mercy Sound Studios, which provided Greg with an opportunity to develop a freelance career. Today, Greg Jansen continues to build his reputation as an outstanding audio engineer working with Meteorite Production and Mercy Sound. Perhaps at this early phase of his career, his success might go unnoticed. However, Greg stands as a role model for students everywhere, coupling with challenges as they seek to advance professionally. Indeed, Greg is a living testament to the fact that hard work and perseverance can overcome obstacles to success, including visual impairment in the sound industry. And for this, along with the can-do attitude and high degree of professionalism, he is a role model for everyone. Greg, would you come up, please? Dave?
Come on up here, guys. Come on. Whoops, careful. Careful of the wire.
I'm used to that.
Greg,
You want to just,
you want to hold the microphone?
just 1 second, Muriel. And the actual plaque itself reads, from the Coalition of New York State Career Schools, outstanding career school graduate Craig Jansen, a graduate of the Institute of Audio Research, Coalition of New York State Career Schools presented Muriel Adler, President, November 8th, 2012.
Thank you, everybody. Yeah, this has been a real treat to be here, and I want to thank you all for having me as a guest. I'm, a bit out of my element in this, sea of, accreditation, regulations, all this stuff. But if anybody needs an audio engineer, I'm the guy for that. I want to thank Muriel and Dave for everything that they've done, and Dave Cohen was not the president at the time when I was a student, but Muriel was there, and she was really instrumental in helping me get through it, because as you can imagine, for audio engineering courses, there's a lot of stuff. There's some stuff that with soldering and cabling and these things that are kind of beyond me, that with my visual limitations, that she ensured that I was able to get through the program, and made it a really great experience for me.
Hey, Muriel!
So as I said, I couldn't be more honored, and as was said in the wonderful speech that Muriel just gave, which really was very touching to hear for me. I'm not. I'm a young guy. I haven't reached the heights that I hope to reach, but I'm on my way, and I'm not in the habit of looking back so much and patting myself on the back or anything. I'm constantly focused on how I can be improving and getting better and developing in this challenging field. But it's really nice to be recognized like this, and I thank you all very much.
we also have a nice little recognition for the school itself. A very handsomely framed certificate signed by the president and by me that hopefully will be nicely emblazoned somewhere on the walls of the Institute of Audio Research, so next time I come down or that Thomas or someone comes down, we can see it. It should be displayed prominently alongside their school license, because it actually is more of a validation than their license worth than the license itself. Let's be honest. This is what it's all about. They've accomplished. He's accomplished. And so it is truly an honor on behalf of the coalition to present this to David Cohen, who's the president, and simultaneously to also present it to Muriel Adler as well, because of all the hard work she's done working along with the school and Greg and everyone else through all these years. Thank you, and hold it up well so that we can see it and I can take some pictures.
All of our schools change student lives, and we're so proud to be part of this coalition and to receive this award. Thank you very much.
And Muriel made the presentation, but Muriel, would you like to say one or two things personally? Come on, say something. Come on.
Okay. Now, this is a wonderful moment for me. When we instituted our Students of the Year award, I was really happy. I thought that was a great thing. I've seen them at some of the conventions. And every year we've had such wonderful, wonderful people nominated. But to have someone from my school, someone that I know, who's, spent a number of years doing what we trained him to do and is doing so beautifully, is so personally rewarding for me. And this has been a very special convention for me with my award yesterday and Greg getting his award today. I will always remember it, and thank you.